2 years ago, we thought starting an Airbnb business would be straightforward. We had it all figured out. Then, reality hit us fast.
I'm Joel, this is Mo. We're not here to sell you some dream or tell you it's easy money. We're here because we made every mistake you can make in this game, lost actual cash, and had to rebuild from the ground up.
But we fixed it. But a real operation that actually worked. And if we had to start again in the UK in 2026 from absolutely zero, this is exactly what we do differently.
And exactly what we'd never do again.
So if you're stuck in a 9 to 5 right now, looking at this as a way to build 3, 5, even 10K a month managing properties, and you're terrified of making the wrong move, stick around. Most people get this wrong from day one.
We're going to be straight with you. No fluff, just what actually matters. First thing, this is where most people trip before they even get started. You need to pick the right model first. Don't just guess and hope it works.
There are 3 main ways to do this in the UK. Rent to rent, management, or ownership. And they're completely different games with completely different risks.
Rent to rent means you're renting the property long term from a landlord, then running it as a short term rental. You keep the profit, but you're on the hook for that rent every single month, whether you've got bookings or not.
Management, which is what we focus on now, means you manage the property from the landlord, they keep ownership, you handle everything and take a percentage of the revenue. Way less risk on your side.
Ownership is obvious. You buy it, huge upfront costs, but it's yours.
Here's the rule we learned the hard way. If cash is tight, and let's be real, if you're working a normal job, it probably is. Don't pick a model that forces you to bleed money every month just to stay alive.
We see people jump into rent to rent with 3 grand saved up, thinking they'll figure it out. Then winter hit, bookings drop off, and they're covering 1.5K in rent out of their salary every month. That's not a business, that's just stress you're paying for.
Management, you're not covering any costs. The landlord owns it, the landlord pays the bills, you're just running the operations properly and taking your cut. That's why it's perfect if you're still employed and testing this out.
So before you do anything else, get clear on which model actually fits your situation. Not which one sounds the coolest on Instagram, which one you can actually survive with when things get tough.
Second thing we do differently if we started fresh today, choose the market like an actual business, not just based on a vibe or because your mate said it's buzzing.
We definitely didn't do this properly at first. We just picked somewhere we thought was cool.
Here's what changed in 2026 compared to even 2 years ago. Local regulations, demand patterns, seasonality, these things now decide everything. The Wild West days of Airbnb are done. So if we were starting fresh, here's what we'd check before we even looked at a single property. 1. Is short-term rental even allowed here? Some councils have completely shut it down or capped the number of nights you can operate. Don't skip this check. 2. What's the demand like year-round? Not just peak summer, not just Christmas, actual year-round demand. And 3. Who's the guest and why are they coming? Are they tourists, business, travelers, contractors?
That last one's massive. It completely changes how you set up the property, what your revenue looks like month to month, and whether you can actually make money in the quiet periods.
Here's the rule. If the deal only works in a perfect month, it doesn't work.
You need to model the worst case scenario, not the best case, because that worst case will happen. It's not if, it's when.
So don't just pick Manchester because someone online said it's popping. Do the actual research, check the council regulations, look at the booking data, check your competition, treat it like a business decision, because it is one.
Number 3, you have to run conservative numbers. This is probably the biggest reason beginners lose money. Cash flow beats ego every single time.
Every time.
Most people get into this and they overestimate the revenue. Peak summer rates and they think that's what they'll make all year, and they massively underestimate the costs. Here's what actually eats into your profit that most people don't account for properly. Cleaning after every single guest. Laundry, whether you're doing it yourself or paying someone. Utilities, electric, gas, water, Wi-Fi, council tax sometimes. Maintenance, because stuff breaks. Insurance, you need proper cover, not some basic policy. Platform fees, Airbnb takes their cut. Voids, times when the property's just sat there empty and furnishing refresh because that sofa's not lasted 3 years with back-to-back guests.
People just don't account for this properly. They see £2,500 a month revenue on the listing and think that's profit. It's not even close.
Not even close. After all your costs, you might be looking at £800, maybe £1,200 if you're running it efficiently, which is still great for a side income, but you need to know that number going in, not find out 6 months later when you're wondering why you're not making any money. Here's the rule: if you can't survive 2 slow months in a row, you're not ready to scale.
This is especially true if you're still working full time. You can't be dipping into your salary every February because you didn't budget properly. That's when people quit. That's when it falls apart.
Run conservative numbers. Assume lower revenue, higher costs than you think. If the deal still works after that, you'd know you're thinking straight.
That's what we would do. Now let's talk about what we wouldn't do. Don't buy speed before you understand the game.
This one properly cost us.
There are a lot of people out there selling shortcuts. Mentors, deal sources, done for you services. Some of them are legit. We're not saying don't ever use help.
But if you don't understand deal basics, cash flow, how operations actually work day to day, you're just paying someone to make decisions you can't even evaluate properly.
We outsourced too much early on because we thought it would save time. It did, sort of, but we also got taken advantage of because we didn't even know what a good deal looked like.
We paid a sourcer to find us deals. They found one, we took it. Turned out the numbers were awful, but we didn't know how to check properly at the time.
Here's the rule: paying for speed is expensive when you don't know what good looks like.
Learn the foundations first. Understand how to analyze a deal yourself, how to speak to landlords, how operations actually work. Then use help to accelerate, not before.
If you skip that step, you're just building on sand. It will collapse eventually. Next thing we do from day one, build operations before you even think about scaling. This is the part no one talks about because it's not sexy, but it's what actually makes or breaks you.
Getting a unit is the easy part. Running it properly so it actually makes money and doesn't ruin your life, that's what pays.
If we were starting again, here's the exact order we'd follow. First, cleaning plan. Who's cleaning, when, and how they're checking the quality of the clean. Second, linen plan. Where's it coming from? Who's washing it? How many sets do you actually need? And third, maintenance contacts lined up. Plumber, electrician, handyman. Have them ready before something breaks at 11 PM on a Friday. Fourth, guest messaging process. How you're responding, what the tone is, what info they get, and when. Fifth, a pricing system. Are you checking it daily, weekly, using dynamic pricing software, or even doing it manually?
This stuff sounds boring, but this is the difference between you being glued to your phone 24/7 and actually having a life.
If your operations are just chaotic, scaling just means more chaos. You don't want that.
We've seen people with one property who are more stressed than someone running 5 units. The difference? System. System scale, chaos doesn't.
Build the operations early. Even if it's just 1 unit, treat it like it's 10, because when you're ready to grow, you'll actually be ready.
Number 5, standards win, full stop. This is specific to 2026.
The UK market is absolutely saturated with average listings. So your edge isn't going to just be having a property, it's going to be standards and experience.
Which means clean, consistent setup. Not fancy, not luxury, just clean and well thought out. Strong photos, proper photos, not dodgy iPhone shots in bad lighting, and guest experience basics. Fast replies, clear instructions, little touches that make people feel looked after.
Here's what happens when you stick to this. Better stays lead to better reviews lead to better pricing power, and you're not competing on price anymore. You're competing on quality.
That's how you escape the race to the bottom. There's always gonna be someone willing to charge £50 a night and lose money doing it. Let them. You want to be the person guests choose because they trust you'll deliver. That's the game in 2026.
It's not even hard, it's just attention to detail. But most people skip it because they're chasing the next unit instead of perfecting the first one.
Don't be that person.
This last one ties everything together. Grow with control. Don't scale when you're already stressed out of your mind.
Scaling too early breaks most people, like properly breaks them. They quit, they lose money, they burn relationships with landlords. We've seen it.
Here's the 2026 rule. Stabilize one unit. Prove your system works, then add another one.
Stabilize means it's running smoothly. You're not firefighting every single day. Guests are happy, landlords are happy. You understand the rhythm.
If you add unit 2 while unit 1's still a mess, you've just doubled the mess. That's not growth, that's chaos.
We've been there. We've added too fast and suddenly we couldn't keep up. Quality dropped, reviews dropped, and we had to backtrack and fix everything.
The rule is scale systems, not stress.
If adding another unit means you're working 16-hour days and barely keeping your head above water, you're not ready yet. Fix the foundation first.
When you do scale the right way, it actually feels manageable. You're not grinding yourself into the ground, you're building something real that gives you back your time.
Let's bring it home. If we were starting from zero in 2026, here's the order. Pick the right model first. Don't just guess. Choose your market like an actual business. Run conservative numbers so you don't get caught out. Build operations before you scale. Focus on standards to stand out from all the average listings and grow with control, not chaos.
That's the framework. If you follow that, you're ahead of 90% of people trying to do this.
Most people skip straight to find the property without doing any of this groundwork. Then they wonder why it's falling apart 6 months in.
Look, if you're serious about this, genuinely want to build 3K, 5K, or even 10K a month managing properties while you're still working a normal job, we're putting some stuff together that'll actually help.
We're working on breaking down our exact deal rules for 2026, how we actually speak to landlords to get them to say yes, and our full ops system so you're not glued to your phone 24/7 like we were at the start.
And if you want to join in, just comment 2026 below and we'll send you the exact checklist we use. No fluff, just the real steps.
If this video helped at all, tap the like button so more people see it. There's a lot of nonsense advice out there and we're just trying to give people the straight version of what actually works.
We appreciate you watching and we'll see you in the next one.